Welcome back to Black Skies Reviews. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at the new Valaverse Action Force Steel Brigade Female Trooper. These are recommended for ages 14 and above, and this is the packaging that she comes in. Very nice window box, Action Force on the front, Steel Brigade nameplate at the bottom. The top of the packaging. The bottom of the packaging. This side of the packaging has a very nice black and white artwork. It looks pretty cool. This side of the packaging. And the top of the packaging on the back has the cross sell for all 4 female ladies and the main line minus all the female custom troopers that you can get, like the special ops or the Delta Trooper females. Just below that we do have the Steel Brigade file card. I will bring them forward for you guys. Try to get a place where you can pause and read it if you would like. Don't forget to subscribe to Black Sky Reviews. And at the bottom, we do have the action points that the company claims they're going to do something with in the future. So make sure you're clipping and saving those for any future promotions. So with that being said, let's take a look at Steel Brigade Female Trooper outside the packaging. Here's what she looks like inside the clamshell. And a new feature I kind of noticed, they are now taping these stands to the back of the insert, so be careful you don't throw those away. So one thing you might have noticed for these figures, they usually have a nice plastic film over them, protect them, that they've got rid of that, and now we're just going to the old tape over the weapon scenario. So apparently this is another cost-cutting savings from, Valaverse. So let's see what else is going to happen in the future with all those cutbacks. Okay, here she is outside the packaging. First impressions, this thing's stiff as a board. Barely couldn't even stand her up. I had to get the hair dryer out, and the first thing I had to do was go ahead and heat up her ankles. They were stock. There was no way even to stand the figure, as you're seeing here. So even like some of these other parts I'm already feeling, there's no way I'm going to move that without heating that up. So we'll go through this review one step at a time. So let's just take a look at our aesthetics. Here's our head sculpt. We have the, what he claims is Steel Brigade. The blue matches the other, looks like it matches the other actual Steel Brigade males. We have the silver version helmet with the light blue visor. Some gray there on the side. Here's her plate carrier or vest, done in gray. That's Steel Brigade logo. And then we have the 2 pistols that go here just below her chest area. We have some green on her shoulders with a black strap with a gray connector pieces. And that black strap goes over the top of her shoulders and on her back side. And here's the back of that vest, which is pretty cool because it has looks like a spine design. I do like how that looks. It looks pretty awesome. A little bit of silver right there. So we have the gray pads and then like the gray spine, and then we have these like pieces that complement that that gray piece in the middle. Do have a nice knife sleeve right here on a black belt. Goes around front and side, obviously. She has one thigh pad, which is obviously probably another cutback. We have black straps around the leg, gray thigh pad, green pistol case, and then we have little black clips in there apparently for the gun. The inner leg has gray pads. Knee pads are gray. I have some silver on that pad. The boots are black with some gray. A little bit of silver there. Then the tips of the boots are gray. We do have that tread on the bottom of the feet, which is really nice. I do like that. She has a blue shirt with the gray on it. And her gloves are black with gray pads. A little bit of a very light gray there, just outside the sleeve. Does not match that gray. So yeah, she looks the part from her counterparts. So she looks like pretty nice overall for a unison fit for your Action Force version of Steel Brigade. Top of the head. What a plate carrier or vest. The green pants, obviously. Pretty decent looking figure. So I'm going to have to go and pause the video and try to heat this figure up for 20 minutes and come back in an instant for you guys. Alright, so I'm back with her. Let's do some articulation while she's still warm before it goes back to being stiff again. So we have the head on a ball joint. It's nice and free now. Rotates 360. She does look down. It's way up there. Or is that broke? No, I don't think so. She looks way up. Pretty cool. She had a jetpack or something. That's a nice flight pose there. Arms on a ball joint to rotate 360. You can get the T pose on these girls. But again, even on these, just like the infantry packs you buy, no butterfly joints. Another cutback from Valaverse. One thing that irritates me about that is I'm just irritated because, and this is my opinion, but you know, I follow Valaverse on social media and all the YouTube videos I watch because I was interested in his products, obviously. But he boosts these figures how he's never going to sell out, and he's doing the same thing every company does. They suck you in with great product, and then they start cutting back, and they eventually just, you know, end up with Hasbro. So, and then he bashes Hasbro, which, you know, in most cases he's not wrong, but he's doing the same thing they are. And opening this figure is relatively irritating, and then having to heat him up after they said, oh, we're going to get that fixed and won't be any issues after, you know. So this is like a long-awaited Series 3 female wave, and then we have no butterfly joints. So it's interesting. I'm calling it now. It's interesting to see what comes in the future as we see more and more cutbacks. I mean, obviously, I think we come from playability, aesthetics, articulation, packaging. Which, again, that film's gone, which was better than having like all your little silver clips stuck to tape. So now your weapons are all sticky, and, you know, or you lose paint. So, but I digress. But I'm calling that now, you know. So in the future, if you guys are watching this video, you'll understand, hey, look what Valaverse actually did, just like every other company does. So, and everybody just kind of fell into that, which is a shame, but it happened. But for the arms, we have the 360 rotation, the bicep, double jointed elbows, so I can feel them getting stiff again. I can maybe get a little more, but there we go. It's a really nice range. It really is. This is a decent figure, minus not having the butterfly joints, which I don't know why he had to do a cost-saving cuts on these figures. When he's throwing money around like it's nothing and giving hit what he claims back to the community, which was a nice gesture if it actually happened. I don't know anybody who ever heard anybody actually getting any money in those tins, but who knows? I just hate lying companies, you know, that treat collectors. I'm a collector, and he makes these claims of, you know, he's got our back basically over Hasbro, and then they get this kind of like, this huge difference in the quality, which is stiffness. It's back to like wave 1 basically. The wrist rotate 360 up and down on the wrist like this also. This chest articulation, but the vest is on 360 rotation at the waist, rotation at the thighs here on both legs 360. I try to double joint knees, pinless, which is nice. And then I'm worried about breaking this thing. I've seen horror stories lately of people in their figures. Which one, if I watched the video, the guy was like he's like, well, I don't want a free figure. I got a broke one where the head joint was glued into the head, but he didn't want a free figure. How are you not getting a free figure? Oh, you pay for that figure, and you got a defective figure. It's not really like you're asking for anything free, you're just asking for what you pay for. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know, getting what you paid for with your hard-earned money instead of feeling guilty about it. Boot cut right here, 360. The ankles are another issue. I've seen where they have holes, empty air holes in their joints. So be very careful on your figures. Heat them up. This one's stiff again. But you have the down and up all around 360. Pretty decent though. Once you get it in working condition, it looks like I'm going to have to go back at it again with the hair dryer. But for our video purposes, I got her to where I believe she might be able to stand. I might have to use a stand on her until I go back. We'll still take a look at her accessories anyway. But the stand is now glued to the back. And that packaging is so irritating. With all the little ties and all the tape. And it's very frustrating to see a company that you follow, you know, become a hypocrite, I guess. But here you go. This is a really cool stand nonetheless. I do like the overall diamond plate in a color. The color is fantastic. Quite big. We have 4 pegs on here. So you can go ahead and choose whatever one you want here. And it went on pretty good. Yep. So that fits the bill perfectly. No issues there. The diameter of the hole in the foot is perfectly measured. So good. I'm not going to pop off her head because I've heard people breaking their ball joint on the head. So she comes with a commander helmet. I'm not going to use it for me. So these are my figures. I have no use for this at this point. I'm not probably buying anymore. But here is the helmet. It's the same as, no, it's not really the same. It's the same sculpt, but it's just a repaint. We have the black in place of the of gray on the current helmet here. And then we have where the silver is, to replace it with the gold. Same color visor, same color blue on the top. So basically the only difference is the silver is gold and the gray is black for a commander female version. For my unit, I'm using a male commander, so I don't want 2 commanders in one unit. Hope you guys understand that. Next up, we do have her sniper rifle. We have a desert deco, black muzzle, black scope, black grip, black stock. It's nice sculpt, good plastic, no flexibility in the weapon, which is great. There's no drill barrel, so it looks like we have to use the boss effects to go over the muzzle. And then she has 3 of these sticky clips, which because they had tape on them, mine are all sticky. Now I got trying to clean them and not to lose any paint. I like the texture on the end of this clip. This looks really cool. And they have the curved design. I don't think there's a certain way these go in, I guess. They fit relatively snug. Looks pretty cool. Okay, we'll take a look at her positioning with her weapon in just in a bit here. I'm going to go ahead and put, from I can tell, this is a reused from like maybe that Pandora figure. Here's the extra clips, and I believe they can store those, you know, however you see fit in here in her vest. And that way, let's see how that looks before we get into the gun. So there's her extra clips. And then we do have her pistol. It's the same thing we've seen many times over again. It's a black plastic. And then ultimately the hands that she comes with does not have the trigger finger. I'll have to try to change those out. But that's why I'm waiting for the gun demonstration here to the end. And it does fit relatively nice in her case because it's the same case we've been seeing multiple times over again. So we know it automatically works without any issues. That's all her weapons. Well, maybe not. It does have this knife. This is a really cool knife, black handle, silver blade. I do like that. And obviously you can store that on the back of her vest right here. And you can hear that, right? To me, that's a little too tight. It's going to rub off the paint. That's how that looks. On the figure. Let's get through these hands because you guys are probably interested about seeing the same hands that we get over and over. So we have this one and this one probably go together. Some of our gripping hands. They have the pad in the same color deco. And we have the fist hands. So if you go one-on-one with some other characters in your collection, no problem. Then we have the 2 cupping hands here beginning to both sides or left and right, depending on if you want her to hold her rifle either way. That'd be cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to swap it, heat this up, and get us some trigger hands in her one hand and see what we got. Okay, here she is holding that sniper rifle. Pretty good without butterfly joints. Would be perfect with butterfly joints, but we don't get those, fortunately. But that's a good look right there, with the rifle down at that angle and her looking on, like we're waiting for her target. That looks pretty good. I do like that. And then, yeah, that butterfly joint, man, that might have been the piece that's missing to get that looking down the scope look. Man, that's terrible. We could have had that. You might be able to get it, but look at that, it's just a bit off. That's terrible. That's unfortunate. You can see the trigger finger does fit into the hole there. See how she holds it pretty good. Man, that butterfly joint would have been perfect for that down the scope. For your playability and your displays. Man, that's terrible. Okay. Fortunately, it is what it is, I guess. So there's that, and obviously this pistol is going to work because these are the same guns, and more than likely, betting these are probably the same hands. Now the pistol does have the drill barrel for the special blast effects. There, she holds up no problem. Pretty good, and definitely you can hold the weapon with two hands for the sniper rifle. If you add on to coupling hands, definitely can get that no problem. But this has probably been a long enough video, so I'll give you my final thoughts, and we're gonna get out of here. These cost about $31.99, but the same price we paid for better figures on the male versions. Better packaging, better experience opening and packaging, butterfly joints. My Steel Brigade males weren't as stiff as these females in Series 3 are. So my cons are no butterfly joints. The packaging experience, the tape is ridiculous. We're beyond that now. They had like 6 or 7 ties in there, like those plastic ties you had to use scissors to get them out. That was relatively irritating without trying to nip your figure with scissors or some kind of cutters, which is, I can see that happening to somebody. So I feel a little bit let down from the company and the boosting that the owner does. Kind of a little slap in the face. I'm kind of irritated, so I hope that don't bother you guys, but this is strictly my opinion, obviously. I do recommend a figure. The figure is really decent. It's a good figure. Go ahead and buy it, add it to your collection, but I'm here to tell you the truth. What's real. I'm not a fanboy going to say, hey, these things are perfect. They're not. They're actually worse. But they're not bad. They're still good figures, but they're not as good as the males. So if you guys like this review, this honest review, if you like these honest reviews, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, supporting the channel. I really appreciate that very much. And as always, we will see you in our next review.